Do you always feel like you're slower than the competition in sim racing? That your qualifying pace is lacking, but whatever you do, you just can't seem to find consistency in your laps. Sounds like you might have commitment issues. And no, I don't mean your situationship with that girl you've been seeing for the past year and you guys have yet to put a label on it, but rather that you don't commit hard enough in your sim races. In this video, I'm gonna show you 2 big places where a lack of commitment is costing you buttloads of time, and what you can do to fix it in your next races. This is something that I've focused a lot of my energy on recently, and I hope that by sharing this with you, you could find more consistency and pace just as I did. The first important thing that really helped me is that I found a turn-in point on track. What I mean by that is an object or reference that tells you here's where you need to turn in lap after lap. We all know a good braking reference is super important, and hitting the apex is even more important. And because of that, we've given ourselves a solid braking reference for all the corners on track. Why not do the same for the turn-in point? Give yourself something on track that is gonna allow you to increase your consistency tenfold. Knowing when to turn in and being able to do it at the exact same place lap after lap is gonna give you so much more consistency. And you know that we'd love a consistent sim racer. Recently, while preparing for my PSGL races, I noticed that for a lot of these corners, especially during qualifying, I would hesitate quite a lot on when to actually turn in for the apex. I'd start turning the wheel and then stop midway before I would start turning again. And this causes the car to lose a lot of rotation going into the corner heading towards the apex. And this is the mistake that a lot of beginner sim racers make when they first start out. And we saw in the F1 movie that
hope is not a strategy.
So you need a plan heading into the corner to know exactly when to turn in. And this is something that Swelio said as well. The method that requires the least amount of energy from you to input that yields the most amount of results. Try to visualize the line before you even get to the corner. Is it an early apex? Is it a late apex? Planning ahead makes a big difference. So whenever you're trying to nail that qualifying lap, just send it. But send it at the same place every single time. Just commit. Commit. Worst case scenario, you miss the corner, you go a little wide, then you adjust for the next lap. It's not the end of the world. But Kai, I can't just flick the car and hope I hit the corner in the race. Yes, you can, but this is gonna require the next tip I'm gonna talk about in a little bit. For the race, you can use a technique that is called fishing for grip. You might see a lot of advanced sim racers or even Max Verstappen do this in real life. Fishing for grip is a driving technique where you gradually turn the wheel more and more, steering the wheel just a tiny bit more towards the apex bit by bit. This is to see whether the front tires would grip up. Is the car turning more? If yes, this means you can turn in more. If the car refuses to turn and keeps going straight, then it means your front tires are already loaded. Going further would simply scrub the tires against the surface of the track, and this would generate more heat, more tire wear, which is something that I talk about in my other video down below. This technique is a very good way to figure out whether the car has enough grip going into the corner in changing conditions or with a heavier fuel load, because it will be guiding the car through the corner in a step-by-step process instead of yanking it through the corner. You will find more consistency and better tire wear. Back to qualifying now. And my second tip of the day is to just send it. Sounds easy, right? But it really is. Do not hesitate when getting on the brakes or the throttle or when you turn in, because those few tenths that you lose to the faster drivers are found in those tiny moments of hesitation. Okay, but Kai, what about the places on track where I can't find a reference point? This is especially true for blind corners, and I ran into this exact problem around Jeddah during my PSGL preparations. For the life of me, I just could not hook up a fast lap together. And this is when some fast drivers gave me the following tip. Aim for the wall. I brushed this piece of advice aside at first, but then after thinking long and hard about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. You see, if you aim for the same piece of concrete on the wall, lap after lap, what does that give us? Consistency. And this is something you can incorporate into your own driving.
You gotta commit!
And for my bonus tip of the day, commit with the gas pedal. I've noticed that a lot of the times in quali, I seem to hesitate quite a bit on throttle, as if I don't trust the car fully. A lot of the times, I jump on throttle only to lift my foot off a little bit before getting back on to 100%. This is mostly visible if you use a telemetry tool that shows you your brake shapes and your throttle inputs. And by doing this, it causes us to lose a lot of time because it delays the moment I get back on full throttle. And in case you hadn't noticed, in a Formula 1 race, you want to spend as much time as you can with the pedal to the metal because that's the fastest way around the track. So the more time you spend full throttle compared to somebody else, the faster your lap times will be. And I don't seem to be the only person suffering from this problem. A lot of people tend to get back on the gas too quick and then realize mid-corner that might have overdone it a little bit and they have to lift before they can get fully back on the throttle. But everybody with the same issue shares a common denominator, and that is that you carry too much speed into the corner. Recently, this is one of the realizations that I made, is that I tried to brake too late to try to make up time and find time to become faster. By braking too late, you carry excessive speed into the corner and the car just cannot slow down and turn enough. So you're still steering the car way past the apex because you're trying to get the car to get where you want it to go. And this means you often have to wait for the car to rotate before you can get back on the gas 100%. As you approach the corner exit, you want to be unwinding your wheel more and more. But sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the moment and just try to mash the throttle even though you didn't properly do your homework before the corner. On most corner types, it's almost best to use the slow in and fast out approach. If I were you, I would first determine the optimal line through a corner. Is it an early apex? Is it a late apex? Try to figure out the best line to take through there. From that, we find the correct turn-in point in order to set up the apex and thus the exit that we want. With a consistent turn-in point, we'll be able to hit the apex at the exact same time and place every single lap after lap. From there, practice having confidence on your throttle so that you can reproduce the same throttle shape lap after lap. And by combining all these tips together, you will find a loads of more consistency and time on track. And that's what I hope for you and myself as well. So, happy hunting. Enjoy the video? Check out my how-to series on F125. I'll be linking the playlist on screen right now. Also subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future videos like this. Are you currently working on something specific on your sim racing journey? Let me know in the comments below. This is Formula Kai signing off, and I will see you very soon. Ciao, ciao.